you. So if you can just start off, please just introduce yourself and where you're living at the moment.
Okay, so my name is Agustina Fitte. I'm originally from Argentina, Buenos Aires. I'm 52 years old. I've moved to South Africa 7 years ago, so I currently live in South Africa, but because of the lockdown, I'm staying in Buenos Aires with my family, especially my parents, which are over 70. They're both alive. They're doing very good. Yes. So I basically came here to take care of them. I've got a brother and a sister, which are also here in Buenos Aires, and they're doing good, fortunately. But they're staying in the outsides, in the suburbs or outside the city.
Okay. You were mentioning when we were chatting offline that your sister is actually now phoning you with lots of queries for the animals because you're a vet and you're stuck in a flat and she's out there with animals.
Yes, actually, well, I work as a vet in South Africa, and we also farm here in Argentina. We've got 2 farms, which my brother and my dad take care of. But at the moment, obviously, my dad is not traveling to the farms. It's only my brother. And because my sister lives in a flat, like she actually literally lives on top of my mom, which is very nice. But because she's got 3 kids, as soon as they canceled schools, she traveled to the farm and decided to stay there until the schools resume. So it's actually very funny because the kids have a rabbit and there are lots of dogs and cats in the farm and horses. There's a mare that it's about to fall. So she's actually playing the vet now, and we are online quite often because she's asking me for advice for different diseases and things going on with the animals. So she's actually loving it. They're also, at the moment, they're also picking up the crops at the farm. So she's also controlling the trucks, the amount of crops that are being, picked up, and the weight, they have to weight the trucks. And so she's actually enjoying the farm, and the kids are loving it.
I'm sure. Wow, that must be a wonderful lockdown for the children. If I have to compare it to the lockdown here of our children, I mean, my kids are going crazy in our confined living space.
Yes, I know. I'm quite jealous about her at the moment.
I'm sure. Shame. That must be really so hard. So how are you feeling? I mean, how has lockdown specifically been in Argentina? When did you travel there? How long have you been in lockdown for?
Okay, I was planning to come here to Argentina to visit my family only for 10 days on the 23rd of March. But because of all this situation and having some, reliable information that the country was going to close the borders, I decided to advance my trip and fly before. So I took the plane on the 16th of March, early in the morning. And then as soon as unfortunately, I cannot fly direct to Argentina. I have to go through Sao Paulo, Brazil. So as soon as I got to Sao Paulo, we got the information that borders were getting closed, and my plane was basically one of the last ones that got in.
Wow, so you just made it out. Okay.
I just made it out of South Africa. I was quite stressed with all this going on. There was not a lot of information. It was quite new here in not new, but it was quite new in South America. So we didn't know how to manage ourselves. We didn't know what to do. I flew with a mask the whole trip, and most of the people were already wearing masks on the plane. So it was a little bit stressful. I didn't ask my parents not to go to the airport. I actually got a car at the airport, and I drove all the way home just for safety. I couldn't come to my parents' flat where I normally stay. So a cousin of mine, that she's actually a virologist and she works with coronavirus tests, she borrowed me her flat. So I went there and I did quarantine at her flat for 2 weeks, just to make sure I didn't catch anything on the way. So it was a little bit stressful, and everything so new here, and with such little information on what was going on, etc. So the whole population was quite scared and paranoid. 2 days later, the government decided to install the lockdown. So we all went inside. People really stayed inside. I mean, we had obviously people that wanted to go to the sea because they thought it was kind of holidays, and then they were stopped by the police and they were arrested. So things became really strict.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
quite, yeah, it was quite, yeah. How can I say? I was quite surprised because Argentinians, you know, tend to bend the law quite a lot, and they struggle to stick to the law. So, but in this case, it was people were really scared and staying inside. So it was quite amazing to see everybody respecting what the government said. And I think the government did the right decision because we closed the borders quite soon, and we locked down quite soon. So we managed to slow down flatten the curve and slow down the curve, because we are only I think we are 2,500 cases, infected cases with 200 deaths so far. The situation is quite similar to South Africa, and we've been quite growing in quite a similar way. So it's been interesting in that sense. In my personal case, I was very grateful for the lockdown because I had quite a hectic summer. So that time of lockdown, it really helped me to slow down and balance myself again and restore, you know, my body. I started to sleep properly again. It was a very good moment to slow down and balance myself. So I'm enjoying it. I've really been enjoying it. Obviously, it gets to a point when you live with other people that it can get too much. You know, all the personalities and characters start to show up, and yeah, it's not easy to deal. But I think all this situation also made people value how important we are to each other, and we started to value the little things we have in life. One of the things I was really it broke my heart is the fact that I arrived here and I couldn't see my parents for 2 more weeks, knowing they were only 10 blocks away, and I couldn't even hug them, you know? So that was like heartbreaking, and it made me cry. So yeah, I think all those little things that we always gave them for granted, they started to become so valuable. And so I'm hoping this is going to be really a wake-up call for a lot of people. Yeah, from the economy side, it's been very hard on the country, and it's going to be very difficult to, you know, take off from this situation. But well, we just have to fight and keep on. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Economically, it's going to take quite a while for the whole world economy to recover. So it's going to be really tough times. But I agree with you. I mean, it's such a beautiful point that you're making about just appreciating the little things, being able to be with your parents there. It's really wonderful. And I'm so happy to hear that they're still healthy and they're doing well. So are you able to see them now?
Yes, I am. After 2 weeks, I managed I didn't move in with them, but I moved into my sister's flat, which is on top of their flat. So I go, you know, down the stairs every day to check on them, and I help them with the shopping, or sometimes even with bank issues. Or one of the big things we are getting now with older people, that they don't know how to do, you know, internet banking. I mean, it's really difficult for them because they don't work on computers like we do. Even for me, I wasn't born with computers either. So it's, you know, I learned.
Exactly. I just wanted to say, I actually helped my mom with connecting to Zoom earlier today. And that was really hard for her, but she did really well.
I know. And now my mom is doing yoga classes through Instagram. I'm like, Mom, I don't even have Instagram, you know, that's amazing.
Wow. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, that's so lovely. Thanks so much for your time. You've really left me with such a beautiful message of just really appreciating the little things that we have. And it's so beautiful that you're able to be there with your parents. And And so thanks so much for taking the time, and I wish you all the best and safe travels back to South Africa. I suppose one last question, you're not sure when you're coming back?
Not really. It doesn't depend on me at this point. I think it depends on when the government will, lift up the lockdown on, and the barriers on the border. So it depends on that, on the airlines and
exactly.
So,
but at least you're with your family, so that's wonderful. And giving veterinary advice long distance to your sister out on the farm.
Yes, we've got a lot of different jobs at the moment, multitasking. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Nice
Thank you.
to
Bye.
thank you so much.